When we program a PLC, there are multiple ways to write the same logic. Why do we need multiple languages to control the same system? What limitations does each one overcome? In this video, you'll explore the evolution of PLC programming and understand how each language fits into real industrial applications. In modern industrial automation, programmable logic controllers, PLCs, are engineered to handle tasks ranging from simple on-off control to highly complex multi-stage processes. To effectively manage this diversity, PLC programming is not confined to a single methodology. Instead, it follows the international standard defined by the International Electrotechnical Commission, IEC. The IEC is a global organization responsible for developing and publishing standards for electrical, electronic, and automation systems. One of its key standards, IEC 61131-3, specifically defines PLC programming languages. According to this standard, there are 5 main languages: ladder diagram, LD, function block diagram, FBD, structured text, ST, sequential function chart, SFC, and instruction list, IL. These languages were not created randomly. Each one is designed to solve a specific type of control problem, from relay-based logic to complex algorithmic operations. Now, let's jump into ladder diagram, or LD. Ladder diagram is a high-level graphical programming language. It is intuitive and visual, making it easy to understand and design control systems. This language is based on traditional relay logic, so it closely resembles real electrical circuits. In a relay-based system, control is done using physical components like relays, timers, and counters. But in ladder diagram, these are represented as logical elements inside the PLC. In fact, it looks just like a ladder. It has 2 main parts, 2 vertical lines called rails and horizontal lines called rungs. The left rail represents L+, the power supply, and the right rail represents M or 0, the return path. The horizontal lines, or rungs, contain the actual logic, and there can be multiple rungs in a single program. Power flows from left to right. When the logic becomes true, the output is executed. Now, let's understand this using a real ladder diagram. In each rung of the LD, the rightmost element represents the output instruction. The output can be of different types. It can be a physical output, like a motor, or it can be an internal relay, also called a memory bit, used to store logic inside the PLC. Everything to the left of the output instruction are the input instructions that define the conditions. These input instructions include normally open contacts, normally closed contacts, and sensors, which represent real-world inputs. In addition to these, we can also use advanced instructions like timers and counters as part of the logic. Let's see how this system works step by step. First, we press the Start button. This activates the master control, and the system turns on and stays latched. Next, the timer starts. It waits for 3 seconds before allowing the process to continue. After the delay, the motor turns on. Now the system is running. As products pass the sensor, each one is counted by the counter. When the count reaches 5, the counter output becomes true. This immediately breaks the motor circuit, and the motor stops automatically. Ladder diagram is widely used in industrial control systems, especially for simple and sequential operations. But as the system becomes more complex, with many rungs and conditions, it becomes harder to read and manage. To address this, we use a block-type programming approach, where logic is organized using functional blocks. Let's move to function block diagram. Function block diagram is a high-level graphical programming language used mainly in industrial automation and control systems. Instead of writing lines of code, the logic is represented visually as a flow of data between blocks, making it intuitive and easy to understand. In FBD, the system is built using 3 main elements: inputs, outputs, and function blocks. Inputs provide signals from sensors or switches, outputs drive actuators like motors or pumps, and function blocks perform logical or control operations. Function blocks include basic logic gates such as AND or NOT, as well as advanced control elements like timers, counters, and PID controllers. These blocks act as processing units that transform input signals into meaningful outputs. All elements are connected through connection lines, which clearly define how signals flow from one block to another. This visual structure makes the logic easy to trace and debug. One of the key strengths of FBD is that the output of one block can directly serve as the input to another. This allows engineers to build complex control systems step by step in a modular way. Additionally, multiple blocks can be grouped into a single function block, making the overall system more organized, reusable, and scalable. The main advantage of FBD is its clarity. The entire control logic can be seen at a glance, and signal flow can be traced visually from input to output without interpreting long textual code. This makes FBD especially powerful for process control systems and applications involving analog signals. This is a water tank control system using an analog level sensor and FBD logic. The level sensor continuously measures water level from 0 to 100%. We define two limits: low level 30%, high level 80%. When the water level drops below 30%, the comparator activates and the pump turns on to fill the tank. As the water level rises and reaches 80%, another comparator triggers and turns the pump off. An SR latch is used in the logic to hold the pump state, preventing frequent on-off switching. So the system works automatically. Low level to pump on high level. To pump off FBD matches this system because it is visual, continuous, and control-oriented, exactly how a water tank process behaves. The main practical limitation of FBD is that in very large systems, the number of blocks increases significantly, making it difficult to find a specific block and harder for maintenance. Now we will explore structured text, another programming language used in PLC systems. Structured text, or ST, is a powerful text-based PLC programming language widely used in modern industrial automation systems. It allows engineers to design control logic in a structured, efficient, and mathematical way, similar to high-level programming languages such as BASIC, Pascal, and C. ST is particularly effective for advanced applications such as mathematical computations, PID control, process automation, motion control, and complex industrial algorithms. Unlike ladder logic, which is graphical, structured text uses a programming-style syntax, making it well-suited for complex and large-scale control systems. Structured text programs are written as a sequence of statements, usually separated by semicolons. Each statement operates on inputs, outputs, or variables to perform a specific task. The logic is built using control structures such as if, else, else-if, case, for, and while, which support both decision-making and repetitive operations. The execution follows a clear, step-by-step flow, making the program behavior predictable. Since ST is similar in structure to the C programming language, prior knowledge of C makes it easier to learn and understand. One of the major advantages of structured text is its ability to handle large-scale mathematical calculations and complex control algorithms efficiently. This makes it ideal for applications such as PID control and process modeling. However, it also has some limitations. The syntax can be challenging for beginners. Debugging is often more difficult compared to graphical languages like ladder logic, and online editing or real-time modification may not always be as user-friendly in some PLC environments. This structured text program demonstrates a traffic light control system using step-based case logic combined with T-on timers to automatically control the red, green, and yellow phases. It shows how PLCs use sequential programming, timers, and if conditions to manage real-world automation in a clear and structured way. Now let us explore SFC, or Sequential Function Chart. another important PLC programming language widely used in industrial automation systems. SFC is a graphical programming language used to represent sequential control operations step by step. It is especially useful for processes that follow a fixed sequence, such as manufacturing assembly lines, batch chemical processing, material handling systems, or automated packaging machines. Whenever a system needs to move from one distinct state to another based on specific conditions, SFC is often the cleanest and most organized programming method. Every SFC program, no matter how large or complex, is built using three fundamental elements: steps, transitions, and actions. Let's look at our hardwired relay board to understand how these elements work together. First, we have steps. A step represents a specific and stable state in the machine's operating cycle. The very first step is called the initial step, identified by a double border, and this is where the system remains when powered up. Next are transitions. These act like gatekeepers between steps. Each transition contains a condition, such as a sensor activating or a push button being pressed. The sequence cannot move forward until that condition becomes true. Finally, we have actions. The steps themselves do not directly control hardware. Instead, when a step becomes active, it executes its assigned actions, such as energizing relays, starting motors, activating cylinders, or turning on indicator lights. In this snippet, you can see a real SFC program for an automated date stamper machine. The system repeatedly stamps parts, counts each completed product, and stops automatically once the batch reaches 5 pieces. At its most basic level, SFC behaves like a top-down timeline. The program can execute only the actions inside the currently active step, and it cannot move beyond a transition line until the required condition underneath becomes true. Another important feature of SFC is branching. In this example, you can see an OR branch. OR branching allows the system to select only one path based on a condition, meaning the sequence follows one transition among several possible choices. There is also another type called AND branching, where multiple paths are executed simultaneously in parallel. In traditional ladder logic, every coil, timer bit, and interlock rung is scanned continuously hundreds of times per second. If a machine stops unexpectedly, a technician often has to trace backward through multiple pages of overlapping Boolean logic to locate the fault. SFC fundamentally changes this approach because only the currently active steps execute code. Instead of troubleshooting a massive web of spaghetti logic, SFC narrows the problem down to a single active stage in the sequence. As a result, troubleshooting becomes faster, easier, and far more systematic for maintenance engineers and technicians. Now, let's move to Instruction List, IL. Instruction List is a low-level text-based PLC programming language. It works like assembly language. Each line is a single instruction executed step by step. Now let's understand this with an example. Imagine a conveyor belt system where, press start, a conveyor system turns on. After 3 seconds, a motor starts. And after counting 5 products, the motor stops automatically. If we analyze the IL codes of this system, 2 parts can be found. Operation. The command, written using mnemonic codes like LD, load, and, or, etc., and operand. The value, input, or address the operation works on. You may also find double slash, which is used to add comments and explain the code. First, the system creates a start and stop latch with a safety condition and turns the system on. Then, the timer starts and creates a 3-second delay. After the delay, the motor turns on. While the motor is running, the system counts products up to 5. When the count is complete, the system generates a signal. Finally, the motor turns off when the count is reached. This is how Instruction List works, executing one instruction at a time, from top to bottom, just like assembly language. In modern industry, Instruction List is rarely used, because it is hard to read, hard to debug, and becomes very confusing in complex systems. There is no visual structure like ladder or FBD, So, maintenance is also difficult. Overall, the 5 PLC programming languages differ in structure and representation, ranging from graphical to text-based, but all are designed to implement effective industrial control logic. And that's it for this video. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content on automation and PLC. Also, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.